Some legends leave the pitch, but their stories never leave our hearts. Today, we honor Real Madrid icons whose final chapters were written far too soon. Ferenc Puskas, the legendary Hungarian who became an immortal figure in Madrid with his astonishing left foot and unmatched scoring ability, lit up the world with his genius. But in 2006, at 79 years old, he passed away due to pneumonia, ending the story of one of football's greatest icons. José Antonio Reyes, the electric Spanish winger whose talent shone across Europe and briefly at Real Madrid, lived with joy and explosiveness on the pitch, but in 2019, at just 35 years old, he tragically died in a traffic collision, heartbreaking fans across Spain who grew up watching his magic. Alberto Machimbarrena, the calm and intelligent defender who captained Real Madrid in the early 1900s, was admired for his loyalty and tactical mind, but in 1923, at the age of 35, he tragically passed away due to tuberculosis, cutting short the life of a man who helped build the spirit of the club. Felix Quesada, a tough and reliable defender who served Real Madrid through the club's formative decades, spent years shaping the backline with grit and discipline, but his journey came to an end in 1959 at age 57, with the cause of death never officially released, leaving his passing wrapped in quiet sorrow. Juan Monjardin, the stylish forward who became Real Madrid's scoring sensation in the 1920s, lived with the joy of football in his heart and the admiration of fans. Yet in 1950, at only 47, his story ended suddenly in a traffic accident that shocked Spanish football and froze a life once full of promise. José Villalonga, the visionary coach who famously led Spain and Real Madrid to historic titles, was celebrated for his strategic mind and calm authority. But in 1973, at just 53, he died suddenly from a heart attack, ending the journey of one of the most influential figures in early Spanish football history. Ricardo Zamora, widely hailed as one of the greatest goalkeepers in football history, enchanted fans with unbelievable reflexes and unmatched bravery. Yet in 1978, at the age of 77, the legend succumbed to complications from hepatitis, marking the end of an era defined by the man nicknamed El Divino. Laurie Cunningham, the electrifying winger who became one of Real Madrid's first black stars, dazzled Europe with his pace, skill, and grace. But in 1989, at only 33 years old, his life was tragically cut short in a traffic collision that took away a talent the world was only beginning to fully appreciate. Sotero Aranguren, one of Real Madrid's earliest midfield talents, was known for his elegance and leadership on the pitch, becoming a foundational figure for the club before his life ended in 1922 at just 27 years old, though the exact cause of his death was never officially released, leaving behind a legacy marked by brilliance and mystery. Miguel Munoz, the man who transformed Real Madrid from a great team into a dynasty, guided the club with unmatched wisdom and emotional intelligence. Yet in 1990, at 68, he passed away due to esophageal varices, leaving behind a legacy unmatched in Spanish football history. Hector Rial, the Argentine forward who played a crucial role in Real Madrid's early European Cup dominance, was admired for his technique, vision, and selfless teamwork. But in 1991, at 62, he lost his battle with cancer, ending the life of a man whose contributions shaped the club's golden years. Luis Carniglia, the Argentinian coach who guided Real Madrid to 2 European Cups with his calm authority and tactical wisdom, shaped one of the club's greatest golden eras. Yet in 2001, at age 83, he passed away with the cause of death not officially released, closing the chapter on a quietly brilliant life. Ramon Moreno Grosso, a talented forward who later became a respected coach in Madrid's youth system, dedicated his entire life to the club he loved. But in 2002, at the age of 58, he died after battling cancer, leaving behind a legacy of devotion to Real Madrid both on and off the pitch. Luis Molowny, the quiet mastermind who repeatedly rescued Real Madrid during turbulent times, earning the nickname the Fireman, guided the club to trophies with calm brilliance. Yet in 2010, at the age of 84, he succumbed to a heart attack, closing the life of a man who shaped decades of Madrid history. Jose Maria Zarraga, the tireless midfielder who captained Real Madrid during their early European dominance, embodied leadership and loyalty throughout his career. But in 2012, at 81 years old, he passed away with the cause of death not officially released, leaving behind a legacy rooted in humility and greatness. Alfredo Di Stefano, the man many consider the greatest player in Real Madrid's history, revolutionized football with his intelligence, movement, and total mastery of the game. Yet in 2014, at 88 years old, he passed away from a heart attack, marking the end of the life that built Real Madrid's identity. Ignacio Zoco, the dependable midfielder known for his calm strength and quiet leadership, helped Real Madrid transition into a new era of success. But in 2015, at the age of 76, he died after a long illness, leaving behind the memory of a man who always put the team above himself. Antonio Betancort, the agile and respected goalkeeper of the 1960s, earned admiration for his shot-stopping and commitment to the club. Yet in 2015, at 78 years old, he passed away due to disease, closing the chapter on a life spent protecting Real Madrid's goal with heart and dedication. Pedro Regueiro, known for his versatility and footballing intelligence across Spain's pre-war era, brought technique and resilience to every match he played for Real Madrid. Yet in 1985, at 76 years old, he left this world with his cause of death not officially released, closing his life with the same discretion he lived by. Manuel Velasquez, the elegant midfielder who brought artistry and intelligence to Real Madrid during the 60s and 70s, was cherished for his vision and smooth playmaking. But in 2016, at the age of 72, he tragically passed away from a heart attack, leaving behind memories of one of Madrid's most graceful talents. Pedro De Felipe, the tough and fearless defender who helped anchor Real Madrid's backline during their European successes, played the game with grit and total commitment. Yet in 2016, at 71 years old, he lost his battle with cancer, ending the life of a player who always fought for the badge. Raymond Kopa, the dazzling French forward and Ballon d'Or winner who ignited Madrid's early European Cups with his creativity and flair, spent his career enchanting fans. But in 2017, at the age of 85, he passed away after a prolonged illness, marking the loss of one of football's true magicians. Kopa and Lesmes, a reliable defender who played a key role in Real Madrid's early European Cup triumphs, earned respect for his discipline and consistency. But in 2012, at the age of 85, he died with the cause of death not officially released, bringing a quiet end to the life of a true club servant. Fernando Serena, remembered for his crucial goal in the 1966 European Cup final, was a hardworking and humble winger who gave everything for Real Madrid. But in 2018, at 77 years old, he succumbed to Parkinson's disease, bringing an emotional close to the life of a quiet hero. Radomir Antić, the respected Serbian coach who once guided Real Madrid with discipline and deep football knowledge, made lasting impressions wherever he went. Yet in 2020, at age 71, he passed away due to complications from pancreatitis, leaving behind the legacy of a true gentleman of the game. Paco Gento, the legendary winger and the only man to win 6 European Cups, thrilled the football world with his blazing speed and unforgettable spirit. Yet in 2022, at the age of 88, he passed away with the cause not officially released, marking the end of one of football's most iconic lives. Antonio Calpe, a solid and loyal defender who lived some of Madrid's greatest European nights, earned admiration for his consistency and professionalism. But in 2021, at 81 years old, he passed away from disease, closing the chapter of a man who quietly contributed to Real Madrid's history. Javier Berasaluce, the dependable goalkeeper who served Real Madrid during their early European triumphs, was admired for his professionalism and humility. But in 2022, at 91 years old, he passed away with the cause of death not officially released, quietly ending the life of a true team man. Miguel Angel Gonzalez, the legendary goalkeeper who protected Real Madrid's goal for nearly 2 decades with bravery and unmatched reflexes, was admired for his loyalty and calm presence. But in 2024, at the age of 76, he passed away after battling ALS, a devastating neurodegenerative disease that slowly weakened his body. Juan Gomez, Juanito, the fiery and beloved winger whose passion defined an entire generation of Real Madrid fans, lived football with unmatched emotion and intensity. But in 1992, at just 37 years old, his life ended in a tragic traffic collision that left the football world mourning one of its purest spirits. Amancio Amaro, the brilliant winger who later became honorary president of Real Madrid, was loved for his creativity, leadership, and elegance on the pitch. But in 2023, at the age of 83, he died with the cause not officially released, leaving behind a legacy woven into the heart of the club. Javier Dorado Villa, the defender whose professionalism and steady presence earned respect during his time in Spanish football, lived his career with dignity and consistency. But in 2025, at just 48 years old, he tragically died from leukemia, ending a life that had fought bravely to the very last moment. Juan Manuel Villa, the forward who played with flair and intelligence during his years with Real Madrid, contributed quietly but meaningfully to the club's history. Yet in 2025, at the age of 86, he passed away with the cause of death not officially released, leaving his legacy wrapped in a respectful silence. Leo Beenhakker, the charismatic Dutch coach who brought elegance and modern ideas to Real Madrid in the 1980s, inspired players with his unique mix of discipline and charm. But in 2025, at 82 years old, he died after a long illness, marking the end of a life dedicated to football. These legends may be gone, but their memories continue to shine every time Real Madrid steps onto the pitch.